Okay, we are installing the front shocks on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I'm using Bilstein ones. The first thing we need to do here is to lift the vehicle up on both sides. Very important. On both, that makes it a lot easier for the whole story here. We remove both wheels at the same time to get weight of the sway bar. The hub nut and some other nuts we need to prepare to get the rust off. I assume your vehicle is older. Why else would you replace your shocks? So with a steel brush and a lot of oil, we should get this done easy. Now, this here is the most difficult nut, the tightest, and that one we should remove first. But let's put rust remover lubricant on all of the screws we are going to release. If you don't get the hub nut off, then this is not the job for you. Then you need to go to the shop to have them do it, because without that you won't be able to replace the shocks. Got a little warm. Now from both domes you have to remove the 6 nuts that are shown here with a 13mm on the left side and also on the right side. 6 of them are there. Just remove them and put them back later. So next thing is we remove the speed sensor cable from the brake line to not stretch this or rip this off later, so it needs it more space. By doing this, we allow it to fly around a little better. I used pliers here to remove this part. It's like a little clip in there inserted. Then we can turn the steering by hand because both wheels are off. That makes it easy. If we turn to the left here, then we can remove the brake caliper easier. We need to make sure that we don't pull on the brake line, on the hose. So we have to catch it once we have the screws removed, and then I hang it on a coat hanger. It's heavy. So if you don't do this on a daily basis,
This one is heavy. Wow.
then you have something on your hand there. It's a big car. Next one is the sway bar link we need to remove, for the reason being that we can lower the lower control arm lower. That thing is also very difficult. You need a through socket. Harbor Freight has those, the kit. If you don't have that, difficult without damaging the part. And I think it's needless to say that you should replace all the parts that are not good anymore. The upper control arm I did by hand here. I could have used a tool, but I couldn't find my extension there, the right extension for it. The shock mount, there is a bolt through it. There's 2 different socket sizes. Take that off. And then we remove the shock. And afterwards, looks like that. Very interesting, right? There is the ring for the bearing. Goes on this way. That's how it's supposed to be later when we put it back together. And just in case you wonder how the upper control arm, the ball joint, came loose, You just knock that thing off with a hammer a little bit, and then it comes loose relatively easily. Now we use a coil spring compressor tool. You can either rent from your parts store or buy one. Harbor Freight again has one. And I leave this part in here in the video for your reference, because it's a tricky thing here. It's not willing to work with you. You need to make sure that you compress the spring evenly. The tool I use, the impact tool, is not the best for this kind of work because of the impact on it. Parts can break easily because of the impact, especially when you screw this thing in too far. And yeah, we remove the coil, and after we have it removed, we put the new one together very easily. It's just reassembling in reverse order. This metal ring I have in my hand, in the left hand, now in the right, fits only one way. The adapter ring has a specific orientation, so read this in the assembly document. Little oil on it. And then we just put this thing back together the way we took it apart. Pretty self-explanatory.